Hi, I'm Duke Mopey, and welcome to World War I News.
The Great War was brought about by nationalism.
We are Germans and we love ourselves.
We French love ourselves more.
We Slavs are so great.
It was brought about by imperialism.
We want as much land as you guys.
If only we could expand to Constantinople. The sun never sets in the great British Empire.
Wait, no, Germany, we wanted that land.
It was brought about by militarism.
Yeah.
And it was brought about by entangling alliances.
Yeah.
Central powers!
Yeah. Go Allies!
Yeah, we're number one, yeah!
But the one thing that truly set off this war was the assassination of Austria-Hungary's Archduke Franz Ferdinand.
Go serve it down with Austria.
Oh my God! You done now, Serbia!
We're with you, allies.
Hey, leave my Slavic people alone!
We're with you, Russia. Please help us fight the Germans.
And just like that, it was an all-out war. In reality, there was no good reason for this war. They were really all stupid and fought over nothing. Austria-Hungary was angry at Serbia for a decent reason. France, Russia, and Great Britain had to back up Serbia because they were all good buds. Germany was best friends with Austria-Hungary and also got help from their other besties, Italy and the Ottoman Empire. Now the US would later join with France, Russia, Great Britain, and Serbia. They were called the Allies, and Germany, Austria-Hungary, Italy, and the Ottoman Empire were the Central Powers. Trench warfare is a type of fighting, combat, in which opposing troops fight in trenches facing each other. Trenches were long, narrow ditches dug into the ground. Trenches were very muddy and uncomfortable for soldiers to live in. An area between enemy trenches was called no man's land. Running through no man's land was extremely dangerous because opposing soldiers in their trench could easily shoot the enemy soldiers running through no man's land. Rats were also very common to have in a trench. Some rats even got to the size of a cat, and the rats spread diseases and contaminated food. Sometimes the rats will even try to eat the soldiers sleeping because rats would eat the dead flesh of the soldiers. Soldiers also suffer from what is called trench rot, from their feet being constantly wet. This causes the feet to rot and later become amputated. Lice infestation is also another common problem in the trenches. Lice cause itching and misery to the soldiers. Soldiers in the trenches eat beef, bread, and biscuits. If flour is low, sometimes the bread is made out of turnips. Most trenches are about 1 to 2 meters wide and about 3 meters deep. Trenches are not dug in a horizontal line, but in a zigzag pattern. The French trenches are said to be the worst trenches in the war. America's trenches aren't that bad, but not the greatest. And German were the best. With this world war underway, we have a lot of different new weapons and technology. There's an automatic machine gun that goes. It is a rapid-fire weapon that makes it much easier to take down waves of enemies. A cool tank thing has made its debut in this war as well. It moves using a track. It is an armored vehicle. That can protect lots of people and break down enemy defenses, though they are still kind of slow. We can finally successfully use a submarine, which is a kind of an underwater boat that can send off torpedoes and underwater bombs. Submarines have thus far been mostly used by Germany to take down Allied ships. We have airplanes now, meaning humans can fly in the sky. Airplanes can have some weapons attached to it, but are mostly used to observe. And finally, we have something making a terrible impact on warfare known as poison gas. Poison gas does terrible things to the human body, like causing blindness and severe skin blisters. But we do have the development of gas masks that help the poison less potent and can save people from that terrible fate. And now, the US has gotten involved in this terrible war. The ocean liner Lusitania left New York on May 1st, and on May 7th, it was spotted off the Ireland coast by German forces. 128 Americans died, and due to outrage over this and increasing tensions against Germany, America entered the war. The country was also motivated to get involved by British and French propaganda. Germany is bad!
Anti-Germany is pro-democracy.
In preparation for the Great War, the U.S. went hard to work. The public has been encouraged to buy bonds, known as Liberty Bonds, to help loan money to the government. America also held a draft for 21 to 35-year-old males to enter the war. Herbert Hoover also helped come up with enough food to feed the U.S. and Europe with fasting and raising prices to encourage farmers to produce more food. The troops were set and sent over to Europe to fight, about 2 million soldiers in all. Okay. Breaking news! The Allies have at last defeated the Central Powers when they drove back German forces across France and Germany. The U.S. set up what was called the 14 points. It includes, yes, surprisingly, 14 points to help resolve World War I and future wars. It includes free trade, freedom of the seas, and an end to secret treaties. The Treaty of Versailles has also been set up in order to make the Germans sit in time out. They were very bad boys. This treaty limits the German military to only 100,000 total soldiers. It also stripped Germany of its overseas colonies, and it removed hundreds of miles of territory from Germany. The Germans, unfortunately, will not stay in timeout forever, because a man named Adolf Hitler has other plans. Some see it as the Great War, but I see it as a stupid war. Many fought and many died for not the greatest reasons. Good job, world. Good job. This has been World War I News.